everyone, and welcome to this important topic. I'm from Texas, Houston, Texas, and I just want to tell you that this year was a little bit different. So, climate change is here, and nobody can deny it, although there are people are denying that, unfortunately. But I monitored this year to see when is our cold weather starts, and we used to have it started in November, and this year started in late January. Here. So let's talk a little bit about the size of the impact of climate change. So climate change is an urgent and undeniable global crisis with profound public health implications. Rising temperatures, increasing frequency and intensity of extreme weather events and environmental degradation are disrupting ecosystems and human livelihoods, contributing to increased rates of malnutrition, toxic air pollution, infectious diseases, maternal and mental health disorders. These environmental disruptions have far-reaching consequences on human health, with women and girls disproportionately bearing the brunt of these impacts. An analysis of more than 130 studies reviewed that investigate how the health of men and women is affected by impacts associated with climate change. And the analysis shows 68%, which is 89 studies out of 130 studies, found that women and girls often face disproportionately high risks from impacts of climate change when compared to men and boys. These impacts include death and injury from extreme weather, food insecurity, mental illness, and poor reproductive and maternal health. For example, heat stress has been linked to higher heart diseases, maternal and neonatal health risks, contributing to over 480 heat-related fatalities from 2000 to 2019 occurred each year. Air pollution has been associated with cardiovascular and respiratory illnesses. Climate change worsens food insecurity and malnutrition, affecting up to 236 million more women and girls compared to 131 million more men and boys by 2050. Women also face higher mental health risks, including post-traumatic syndrome disorder and depression due to climate-related displacement and weather events. So it is undisputable that women face a heightened risk from the impacts of climate change. Among its consequences, and I'm gonna give just one example, there's tons of these examples. Air pollution, for example, alone illustrates the vast health burden associated with a changing climate, where shifting weather patterns, wildfires, and high temperature all contribute to worsening air quality, intensifying its harmful effects on human health. As one of the most severe environmental threats, both ambient and household air pollution lead to millions of premature deaths each year. According to the World Bank, pollution caused more than 9 million premature deaths globally in 2019, with air pollution a leading environmental risk to health, accounting for majority of these deaths, about 7 million, making it one of the most devastating health impacts of climate change. In fact, 1 out of every 6 deaths that year was attributed to pollution. Air pollution alone was responsible also for 4.2 million premature deaths worldwide in 2016, with about 88% of these deaths occurring in low and middle income countries. A more recent analysis on pollution and health found that combined household and ambient air pollution remain the leading cause of pollution-related death, accounting for 6.7 million deaths in 2019. And among these deaths, 2.9 million were female deaths, with household air pollution contributing to 1.13 million and ambient air pollution to 1.7 million. So the burden of household air pollution is particularly severe as over 3 million people die prematurely each year due to diseases caused by burning solid fuels, open fires, kerosene for cooking. Women and children are disproportionately affected as traditional gender roles and household responsibilities such as cooking and spending more time indoors where exposure to harmful pollutants is highest. And globally, we have about 2.1 billion people still rely on open fires or inefficient stoves fueled by kerosene and biomass for cooking. In 2019, 1.5 million women and girls died prematurely from exposure to household air pollution, globally making it the third leading cause of female death. And among the 3.2 million deaths caused by household air pollution exposure of these deaths, the leading causes are, and starting with, and this is the highest, ischemic heart disease, followed by stroke, lower respiratory infections, and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, so COPD. So with these numbers, the impact of air pollution is devastating, and this is just one of many climate-related impacts. However, when we consider the impact of the other areas, the total number of affected individuals is even higher. So what is the cost of the impact? For example, if we talk about air pollution, the World Bank estimated that air pollution cost the global economy $8.1 trillion in 2019, equivalent to 6.1% of global GDP. Exposure to air pollution results in estimated $5.1 trillion in welfare losses globally. Direct health costs due to climate change estimated to $2.4 billion per year. And extra burden on healthcare systems due to climate-induced impacts is $1.1 trillion. These are huge numbers, and we're just talking about one here. We're not talking about the other impacts. So globally, looking ahead, the situation becomes even more alarming. By 2050, the climate change will place immense strains on global healthcare systems, causing additional 14.5 million deaths and 12.5 trillion in economic losses worldwide. So this is a real and urgent issue, and we must take action now. And it's really clear that health and climate change are connected somehow. So without urgent action, healthcare systems will struggle under the growing strain, and economies will bear increasingly unsustainable costs. What can we do? On a community level, to effectively advocate for better healthcare for women, we need comprehensive data gathering and research on climate changes, health impacts, particularly in key areas beyond air pollution. And this is what I've noticed during my research, is not a lot of data on women. And to be able to get the right solutions, you have to have data. So reliable data drives policy, focuses advocacy, and ensures funding reaches the most pressing health concerns and towards the most urgent needs, preventing resource misallocation. So definitely data is very important, not a lot on women. And our call to action for the scientific community to expand research and data collection. We urge researchers to gather, analyze, and verify data to provide a clear picture of climate change impacts on health, specifically women's health, and we ask governments also to fund such research, because this requires a lot of money research. It's not just the scientific community, also the governments need to support that. So on the mitigation of indoor pollution, we need cleaner alternatives must be